I know you're a little sad about Mr. Robot not being nominated tonight, but let's talk about the films that are and the projects that are.
Yeah, we got nominated for Spotlight and The Revenant and also True Detective. So it's not a terrible night, but we were a little disappointed we got snubbed on Mr. Robot. But I guess next year.
So when you're doing movies like Spotlight and The Revenant, which are based on some real life happenings, as a producer, what are some of the challenges with that?
Well, I mean, they're so different because the story of Hugh Glass was a story that, was 200 years ago, roughly. And a lot of the story is folklore, and that movie was highly fictionalized by Alejandro Gonzalez and Mark L. Smith in the script. And, so they took a lot of liberties with it. The basic story of Hugh Glass being attacked by the bear and left for dead and going after Fitzgerald for revenge, that was all factual. But a lot of the other stuff was completely fictionalized. And Spotlight, on the other hand, was a movie that was, the journalists were very, very involved in it, and it's very, very close to the truth. I think there's certain time frames that are collapsed or characters that are folded into one or another in order to tell the story, but it's very, very close to the true story.
So I'm really curious, actually, because I had read that the journalists were around, they were on set, they've been pointing out briefcase colors. Why make a narrative film if you're going to have it adhere that closely to the truth? Why make a narrative film and not a documentary?
Well, I mean, it's difficult. A documentary would probably be great about the subject, but we wanted to make a narrative film about it and fictionalize it, and I don't know. I mean, that's the business that we're in. So we found a story that Nicole Rockland and Blythe Faust brought to Michael Sugar, my partner, and myself, and we were really passionate about the story. We thought it's a movie that's really about something, and it's about a few really big issues, and we thought that it would do a lot of good, and we brought the project to Jonathan King and Jeff Skoll, a participant, and they were generous and brave enough to give us the money to finance the movie, and we went on and made the movie. But
Actually, there was a question that came in on Facebook about Spotlight. Somebody wanted to know why the specific decision, and they loved the movie, but they were curious about why the specific decision was made not to really go into the emotional backgrounds or the backstories of the characters. Obviously the emotions are present, but the backstories of the characters.
because it's just not that kind of story. We only had 2 hours to tell the story, and the story is pretty chock full of plot points, and there were some decisions to make. In the earlier drafts of the script, there was slightly more detail about particularly Mike Resendez's life and a little bit more with Sasha's story, but it was really, 5 or 10% more. And it was a decision that Josh and Tom made at the script stage to, not to delve it too deeply into the individual stories of the journalists and to tell the story, the macro story, not the micro story.
And personal question for you. You work on a lot of different kinds of projects. For you as a producer, what is your favorite part of the process?
I think the favorite part is development and packaging. Finding the material, finding the story that we want to tell, working on the script with the other producers and the writer, and sometimes with the director, and getting that into shape, and then oftentimes trying to figure out what director is right for which story, and be involved in the casting and putting the movie together. I mean, that's really where I think things are made and broken. I'm less interested in the physical production side of the movie now. I mean, I used to do that, but now I'm involved in too many projects and too many other things to really want to do that. And I think there are people that are just a lot better at that than I am.
And is there anything, any class or a skill that you have used as a producer that has really surprised you? Like for me, because I'm also a writer, typing class. My 9th grade typing class has become more useful in my life than I ever thought it would be.
Well, I think generally your entire education as a producer, you're involved in so many different types of projects with, 1820s wilderness story, or a story that is really a very technical story legally and journalistically. So I think that having a broad education is very, very helpful. And, I read a lot as a kid, and I think that's very helpful. And really, my passion is storytelling. So I think that, by being familiar with literature and reading a lot, that's the most important thing, I think, for a producer.
Excellent. Well, have a fantastic time tonight.
Thank you.
Good luck with your 3 nominations.
Fingers crossed and toes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Nice
Bye-bye.
to talk to you.